Double Media Day.
Double Media. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a live simulcast, I guess it would be. The recorded portion of this will be on YouTube. For those who are joining us on Instagram, what's up? How's it going? We're also going to have this on YouTube later on. So this is our double duty October shop update. So for those on Instagram, if you have questions, we'll try to answer those as we go. And for you wanting to catch this again, catch it on YouTube later on, and you'll be able to see what's going on. We've got a lot of stuff to share today. So it's a bit of a show and tell, I guess. But here we are in October. As you've seen us post recently, we just hit the 15-year mark of Porter. Now that I'm kind of adding some years, but basically when we started was me convincing my wife to buy a winding machine and try this weird pickup idea that I had. And after trying to do it on a Harbor Freight drill, you know, the foam pads or whatever, I tried to do it on one of those and rip the foam off and try to wind a pickup on there, and it did not go very well. It was bad. But that is the 15-year mark of really trying this thing. So it's been really crazy, kind of reflective time of hitting 15 years. And so today what we're going to be showing you is kind of a culmination of some of those things over the 15 years of just kind of our development, our growth as a company. And so excited to share some of these things with you. Marco, how's it going today?
It's going good. Just, relishing in the 15-year Porter mark. I think at the end of the year I'll hit 7 years. So,
7, yeah.
You know, and a lot happened before I came in, and a lot has happened since I came and kind of started learning how to make some coils and make pickups and stuff like that. But, I'm going good, and we're excited to show you some stuff. I guess that's a pretty good segue, thinking about like the history, and every good pickup maker has a PAF inspired pickup set. Let me bring these a little bit closer. These are for a walk-in customer. These were going in a Gibson 345, but we've even got the metal braid wire. And these are Anthem PAFs, but they're just wound a little bit more to this gentleman's specs. You know, he kind of wants a little bit less low end out of his 345, and so that's something that we actually hear pretty often, and I'm excited to get those in his guitar.
Yeah, so for the less low end, what did you do? Just take turns off? What was kind of the way you achieved that?
Yeah, I just ended up kind of figuring that maybe like a 10% less wire, so I kind of take the total number of turns on each coil and, you know, do some maths and figure out 10% less, which kind of ends up being around like 800 turns for those of you that are into the nitty-gritty, nerdy stuff. But I won't tell you the exact number, but
the secret number.
About that much less.
Less than stock.
Less than stock.
Probably a good way to put it. So if you're looking for something, that's a good example of kind of one of the things that we offer is customization within each wind. So if you're looking for, you know, an Anthem, but you want it like an overwound Anthem, or you want less off your S90 or whatever, that's typically something that we'll do within the same price point. So a lot of times we'll custom wind, or we'll tailor it to what you want within the price point. We're not going to charge you extra for some of those things. Now, overall, I'm going to hit this really, really quickly because it's kind of, it may be boring to you, but it's not to us, is that there are some changes coming in our options. So across the board, we're reducing some options. We looked at our cover options, and one of the things we really pride ourselves on is giving you as many options as possible. The problem with that is inventory and challenges and finding stuff that's available and not available, pricing, all these different things, keeping stock. So some of that is going to come down. We're going to take some cover options away from a few of the models. We're going to reduce them down to just a couple options per type, and we'll share more about that coming up. But I just wanted to let you guys know that is one change that is coming for us, just streamlining, you know, trying to make things a little bit more efficient. It's crazy how much money gets spent on inventory without getting too deep into the business part of it. It's a lot to keep, you know, for a wide range pickup. It's a lot to keep 7 or 8 covers in stock in sets and for any configurations that you might order. So now we're just trying to streamline that a little bit more. So enough about that. Don't want to bore you with the details of that for those joining us on live. And again, this will be later on YouTube. If you have questions, you can leave them here as we go. You can also leave them on the YouTube channel later. If you're watching this live and you think, oh, I have a question about this one thing I saw on the video, go back and you'll find this on YouTube later today, and you can go ahead and make sure you leave that question for us. I'm going to start with this beautiful aged relic loaded pickguard. Check this out. We got the 5-way traditional wiring. This is just an example. Marco did kind of a brushed, like faded look on this black. I don't know if it shows up very well on either of these cameras here, but trust me, it looks good. And we did some special creative aging on these covers as well. Just kind of it's one of the examples of just stuff we try to finish and we try to put out there for available for sale. This is on Reverb right now. I believe it is on eBay as well. So check it out on eBay for a little bit better price, potentially. You'll see stuff like this coming through. We have like a lot of custom shop features throughout the summer and into the fall. There's a lot of really fun special stuff, and just kind of to celebrate the 15 years, we're going to be doing all sorts of really fun like special deals and special offers and kind of getting all those things out. But that is another example of some very cool. If you got a Strat that you need something that looks a little rusty and crusty, that's got the vintage customs in there. I'll do both cameras here real quick. Check that out.
It's almost Halloween themed.
Yeah, it is.
Yellow and then the orange on the cap
orange
there.
drop.
It's like candy corn.
Spooky pumpkin. Oh, candy corn. Candy corn is the worst.
Maybe I shouldn't say
that is the worst candy. I don't know what you guys think. Candy corn is the worst candy just about ever invented.
I think barely counts as candy.
Yeah, barely. So many of you know we started back into making some guitars on the side of Porter Pickups and the other channels of Porter in the spring of this year. Now it's kind of interjected with our 15-year story, but we wanted to show you a couple things that we have in different stages right now. So I guess you want to start with that beauty over there?
Oh, I would love to. As you dedicated viewers may know, I am a Tele guy, and look at what we have got here. Or maybe I should say that. A T-style guy.
T-style guy.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yep.
But this is something that we've just kind of been working on and really wanted to design something familiar, kind of from the ground up, and just little kind of things that you can see. This is not very typical for a T-style.
Yeah.
We got like a P90 sized route and then a humbucker in the bridge, but I think that is a combination that can do some awesome stuff. So those of you that are interested in T-styles, be sure to stick around to find out more about this and little things like subtle contours and really just things that, you know, we think make a good Tele, and we just want to kind of offer what we can do.
Yeah, and that's going to be we're still working on this hybrid series idea, but it's something where we cut the bodies and we use necks with the paddle headstock. We cut the shape out. We do the fretwork and the nutwork and all that stuff. So it's a way for us to kind of build part of the guitar, but keep the cost down. I think we were talking before, turn the camera on, that the guitar prices have just gotten insane. And we're trying to figure out how we can build something that's kind of more, I want to say affordable. It's still going to be fairly pricey, but it's something that we want to get into a certain block, you know, within the few $100s of this price range. So that's an example of that. We're trying to pursue some of that and putting in some creative pickup routes on this one. This is actually for a customer. He's going to be getting one of these, and this should be, if all goes well, this should be his body. But this is just freshly off the CNC as of yesterday, and still got lots of sanding and lots of rounding and contouring, all that to do, but that's what's coming up. The next one I want to show you guys is a very interesting version. Check this thing out. A very interesting version, flame top version of our Les Bois semi-hollow. Now you're noticing a few things might feel like they're missing on this guitar. They're not. This is a very cool customer request. So typically on our semi-hollow, we're going to have an F-hole here. This is all chambered out, so we got a mahogany back, and you can see the string-through body there. This one's all chambered, but he requested no F-hole, and no bridge humbucker, and no selector switch. So check that out. Kind of looks cool. It's kind of got its own vibe to it. It's going to get a transparent green type finish. We're still working on shades and things like that, but I'm very excited about this and very excited to see what customers do with the existing shapes that we have. But yeah, that's another one coming. You can see the beautiful flames on that. It's going to really pop. Probably going to do some sort of natural edge binding like we do on some of our other guitars. Nice African mahogany back on this as well. It's going to get a roasted quarter sawn neck and ebony fretboard as well. So this is a very fancy version of kind of a couple steps up of what we just showed you. This one's just got more options, more customization within each style, and I think he's going to go with WRH neck humbucker. I don't know if I told you that, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a single WRH open top, kind of just great, kind of jazzy sort of guitar. That's what he wants to do. All you need is a neck pickup sometimes, which is pretty cool. So that's another one. And finally, I will show you this one. You may have seen it on a few of our pictures, but this is an example of that same model with the FO and with the bridge pickup and with the selector switch. So everything that one doesn't have, this one has. Very cool, kind of a transparent olive green color. This one you may have seen on some of our channels. This one is an all Palfaro rosewood neck. I'll try to show it to both cameras here. You can see our big steel base plate on the end. This is black Limba back. I really exceptionally love this end grain on the side there. Just love how it looks and how it feels. That one's going to get open top, I believe. We're planning on open top. This is available for sale on our website. So if you're interested in this guitar, you can there's still time to choose your humbuckers, still time to choose the hardware, color, that kind of thing. We're running out of time for that because we may just get to the point where we finish it out, but it's destined for some open top fiberboard type humbuckers and single row poles. I think we're going to kind of hot rod this thing a little bit, but I love this neck. Hopefully you can kind of see that really good on the camera. Try to turn it without dropping it, but you can see our laser logo there on the headstock. Beautiful Palfaro. Got a couple really great suppliers where I can go pick out the Palfaro black Limba from a whole entire palette of wood. So I'm like one of their most annoying customers probably, because I go in there and I sort through the piles and like, oh, that's the one I want, and I kind of know what I'm looking for. And they're actually really cool. They're probably not super annoying, but it's one of those where I get to go and find like the character pieces, and that's what we put into our guitars. So that's kind of the couple of those things coming up. And yeah, other than that, we just want to say thanks for your support. August and September were just like brutal months for the business. Things just kind of hit a wall. I've been talking to a lot of people in the industry. Things have really slowed down, the economy or whatever you have it. So that's created some challenges for our business, figuring out kind of what we want to do. And we've been really getting down to our core. If you watch any of our recent videos, we're really focusing on the guitars and on the pickups, on the business called Pickup Winders, which is DIY, build your own pickups, pickup supply. And then our Gatekeeper line, which has been going strong, just $99 set of pickups with a bunch of different options. So we're really excited about that. Kind of as things have gotten a little bumpy, we've tried to do what we can to kind of keep things moving through. And many of you have taken advantage of some of our 15th anniversary specials. If you're on our newsletter, you found out about a few of those. Some of those are going out this week. Some killer deals that we had on a few products. So some of you are getting some awesome deals on stuff. But I think as we kind of wrap this up, I really just want to say thank you for your support for the crew here. Like, it really means a lot to us that you've stuck with us this whole time. I mean, I got an email from someone the other day that's had it one of my early sets that I think I hand wound in the garage, and that was really cool just to see that we're still rocking that thing. I'm like, I'm surprised it still works, because it's been so long. But yeah, we just appreciate that. We're really excited about what we're trying to do and getting back to the kind of the core of Porter. We've done so many things that have filled the gaps for the last 2 years in terms of pandemic hit, and we're trying to survive and trying to figure out how to be a gear business when there was no industry in a way. Mm-hmm. And so now I think we're kind of past that, and we're kind of like trying to figure out, okay, what is this new era looking like for Porter? And so we're super excited for that. We're going to be sharing a lot more about that in the coming weeks, kind of the direction that we're going and some of the things that we're going to offer. But and we've got to address this topic at some point. But we were talking before we turned the camera on about the guitar prices and kind of like the way guitar pricing has gone and how crazy it's gotten. And so we're going to dive into that in a future video. For those who are on the Instagram Live, watch our YouTube channel. We're going to dive into that subject of kind of what has happened with guitar pricing and what it's done to some of the other prices that have kind of continued to grow with it. So that's a teaser for those who may want to be watching that in the future. But so what are you excited about kind of in this next phase? And kind of, we've got a lot of things going, but what's kind of like turning the wheels for you? Yeah,
I mean, again, just thanks for my part to all of you guys that watch this stuff and just kind of ask us questions, send us an email, or even just curious about the stuff in our lineup. But it really, like we kind of talked at the beginning of the video, there's so many different kind of like avenues and little streams that we kind of have so many little different hats that we can wear.
Yep.
And that's just the thing that has been the most exciting to me, is just it's like you kind of hit a spot where you're like, oh, there's kind of a little bit of a wall. We just kind of shift and we pivot and like, well, now I'm building a bunch of bobbins or, doing stuff like that. But I think it really showcases just that, like, we really want to kind of be helpful to you guys in the gear industry. And it's just like, there's always someone better than you. There's always someone like behind you, but it's just like, here's what we can do. And if you kind of like find some value in that, that's awesome. And that is who it's for, and it's for you guys. And, we're just, I don't know, we don't want to do anything else. Maybe can't do anything else. I don't know.
Maybe.
But we don't want to, and
right.
so we're just trying to stay creative and adaptable and useful and helpful and inspiring kind of thing. So I'm excited for all the things in the works. Yeah, it's scary when it's kind of a slow time, but sometimes you just got to put your nose to the grindstone and just go for it. And, it's not over till it's over kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's, again, it's just getting back to the core of what we want to do, like I said, and the things that are important to us. We want that to translate to our customers and really, like, our pickups do what we say they do, and the goal is to keep everyone playing more guitar and to remain inspired, and that's why we do what we do. And so we want to just jump on and say thanks, and this is a bit longer of a shop update. So for those of you that made it to the end of this, we appreciate that. Again, if you're just joining us on Instagram, you can go find the whole video here on Instagram. You can also find it on YouTube channel as well. Thank you guys for your support. If you're not on our newsletter, I'm just going to plug this one more time. It'd be a good idea to be on our newsletter throughout this kind of October month, because we're definitely doing some like customer appreciation type things and just saying thanks for being there for these 15 years. And man, it's wild. So we're going to get back to work here, guys, but thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of this, and don't forget to leave questions or comments below and on either channel that you see this. Thanks so much.
Yeah, see you next time.